Welcome to The Explainer. Look, today we're tackling something that is fundamentally changing how we handle one of the most, frankly, grueling parts of academic work. We're zeroing in on how AI accelerates literature reviews. We're going to explore how we can completely transform that exhausting manual research process using AI, turning what used to take months into a highly streamlined workflow. Okay, let's dive into this.
Now, if you've ever conducted a literature review, you know the agonizing feeling. You type a simple query into a traditional search engine, like Google Scholar, and suddenly, boom, you're buried alive under thousands of PDFs and endless abstracts. You know the drill, right? Late-night coffee binges, severe eye strain, 50 browser tabs open all at once. Manually sifting through all that dense academic text just to find those half-dozen papers that actually matter? It's an overwhelming pain point across literally all disciplines. It's mentally exhausting and, let's be honest, wildly inefficient.
But here's the good news. We are finally moving away from the era of what I like to call manual keyword roulette. Typing in a search term and just praying it yields a relevant document. We're entering an era of automated synthesis. The traditional literature review relies heavily on you doing all the reading and filtering manually. But an AI-accelerated review, it flips the paradigm completely. Instead of just returning a list of blue links, these new AI tools actually read, process, and synthesize the information to give you evidence-based answers extracted directly from the text. We are moving from a world of manual sifting to rapid automated comprehension.
And to put a massive exclamation point on the value proposition here, check out this staggering statistic: 80%. According to research from ISPOR, utilizing AI for data extraction can save researchers up to 80% of their time. 80%. Imagine shrinking a grueling 3-month literature review down to just 2.5 weeks. That is literal months of your life given back to you. What would you do with that time? You could actually focus on high-level analysis, discovery, and writing, rather than just tedious administrative data parsing.
So, here is our roadmap for today. We'll start by looking at the research overwhelm, then peek under the hood at how AI understands patterns, move into accelerating the literature search, automating screening and extraction, and finally, we'll touch on ethics and human oversight.
All right, starting off with Section 1, the research overwhelm and validating the pain point. Systematic literature reviews form the absolute backbone of evidence-based practice, right? But manually, they are incredibly prone to errors and major delays simply because of human fatigue. The SAI organization's SLR-centric model reveals something kind of fascinating about academic research. It's essentially a 3-layered ecosystem. At the base, you have your supporting infrastructure, which feeds upward into your methods and tools, which ultimately dictates your final research practice. The crucial takeaway here is that upgrading your base infrastructure by integrating smart search technologies and AI-driven databases directly trickles up to improve your actual daily research practice. It makes the entire endeavor more standardized, infinitely faster, and much more efficient.
Moving right along to Section 2, how AI understands patterns. Basically the engine behind all this.
We all know AI is incredibly fast, but we really need to look under the hood to see how these tools actually function and why they're so vastly superior to traditional keyword searches. Our technical foundation here comes directly from the International Journal on Science and Technology. As a rigorous benchmark in the field, they published some fascinating research on exactly how AI learns hidden patterns using a brilliant computational concept called embeddings. This specific concept is the core engine driving every modern AI research tool available today.
Just trace how incredibly fast this technology has evolved over a few short years. In 2013, the introduction of Word2Vec totally revolutionized how machines process individual words. By 2017, fast text advanced this by breaking words down into smaller character chunks, or n-grams, allowing machines to understand parts of words. And then, boom, by 2019, the breakthrough of billion-scale GPU similarity search arrived. In plain English, this meant computers could suddenly cross-reference billions of complex concepts simultaneously in the literal time it takes you to click search.
And it all comes back to this core mechanism, embeddings. So what are they? Embeddings are dense numerical representations that enable machines to capture complex relationships in high-dimensional vector spaces. I know, that sounds super technical, but imagine translating every single word, phrase, and concept into geographical coordinates on a massive, multi-dimensional map. Words with similar meanings or contexts end up plotted much closer together. This is exactly how AI reads. It doesn't see words as isolated letters. It translates language into mathematical relationships, allowing it to find hidden connections across millions of scientific papers in a fraction of a second.
Now, what's truly staggering about this is that even back in 2013, the early word-to-vec model proved that machines could genuinely comprehend context. It was correctly answering semantic questions with over 53% accuracy and syntactic questions with nearly 60% accuracy. This was the definitive breakthrough moment. It proved AI could do so much more than just search a database. It could actually start to comprehend the text itself.
Let's move to Section 3, accelerating the literature search and finding the gaps.
So how does this build into practical application? According to a really insightful report by Paper, researchers can strategically use AI natural language processing to identify underexplored knowledge gaps using 3 specific steps. First, collect and pre-process large volumes of text. Second, apply computational analysis like topic modeling. Think of topic modeling as having a super sleuth assistant. It can spot an invisible trend, an unusual citation pattern, or a glaring missing link that a fatigued human would totally gloss over after reading 50 dense papers. And third, this is absolutely crucial. Always validate those AI findings through expert human review. The AI aggressively points you to the gap, for sure, but human intellect validates it.
Okay, Section 4, automating screening and extraction, the heavy lifting. This is usually where the coffee runs out and the despair sets in for most academics. Once you've found the papers, the most tedious phases of a literature review begin, screening thousands of abstracts to see what fits, and then painstakingly extracting the data. But the impact of automation on this phase is genuinely staggering. The ISPO study evaluated commercial AI tools and found they can reduce abstract selection time by a massive 50%, often just by having the AI categorize abstracts using predefined yes or no questions. And for the grueling process of data extraction from full PDFs, the time reduction leaps to 80%. Just a total game changer.
But hold on, a massive word of caution. Not all tools are created equal. The ISPOR study tested 4 different AI tools, labeled T1 through T4, on actual live systematic literature reviews. Notice how functionalities like abstract extraction and AI screening vary wildly across the board. Most importantly, tools T3 and T4, which rely heavily on generative AI, actually showed remarkably low performance in extraction accuracy. Why did generative AI perform so poorly here? Well, it comes down to how these tools are built. Generative AI is designed to be highly creative. It predicts the next most likely word to create fluid text. But that exact creativity makes it prone to hallucinating data that simply isn't there.
So the crucial point here is actually highly counterintuitive. The newest, flashiest generative AI is not always the best tool for the job. The study found that older, non-generative AI models currently outperform the newer models when it comes to strict data extraction accuracy. Non-generative AI is analytical and rigid. It doesn't create, it just parses and categorizes. Because of this, the non-generative tool demonstrated a nearly 10-fold lower false negative rate. It's a fantastic reminder that you've got to choose the right type of AI for rigorous scientific extraction.
Which leads us perfectly into our final segment, Section 5, Ethics and Human Oversight, or as we like to call it, the co-pilot rule.
Throughout this explainer, we've explored incredible time-saving capabilities, but we absolutely must establish one grounding principle. AI is a research assistant, not a replacement for human judgment. An insightful perspective article in the Advanced Journal outlines 4 major ethical risks we have to actively navigate. First is plagiarism, where AI echoes existing literature without proper attribution. Second are hallucinations, which happen when large language models produce highly convincing but entirely fabricated text and fake citations. Third is the inherent bias baked right into the training data. And finally, there's a genuine concern regarding the erosion of scholarly skills. Just like a muscle, your critical thinking can actually atrophy if you let the AI do all the heavy lifting every single time.
That same advanced article establishes a completely non-negotiable baseline for modern research. Quote, AI is not an offer. Human researchers remain fully responsible for their work. Transparency in your methodology is key. Verification of every single data point is absolutely essential. AI is simply a tool designed to empower and speed up your thinking process, not to do the thinking for you.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a final, provocative question to reflect on before you hit publish on any research supported by these powerful tools. Are the ideas presented truly my own? AI can beautifully map the embeddings, it can extract the data with crazy precision, and yeah, it can hand you back 80% of your time. But the final synthesis, the actual human insight, and the ultimate responsibility, that whole shebang remains entirely up to you. Keep learning, keep questioning, and use these tools to accelerate your genius, not replace it.